What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the TCG Empire YouTube channel. Today we do have Meta Monday. We are going to be taking a look at Edward Newgate. Well, when I get rid of the leader, it doesn't make things a lot easier. We are going to be taking a look at Edward Newgate. If you aren't sure what Edward Newgate does, it's a 6,000 leader. It's the only one in the current format in One Piece that has 6,000 power as well as 6 life. And at the end of your turn, you take a life and add it to your hand. So you pretty much kill yourself every turn, but once your life is gone, you don't lose. Your opponent still has to get an attack through. So to pair with that combo, we are running a ton of 2K combos, as well as cards to search certain things out. And I'll hide my webcam so you guys can see the rest. We are running 3 Atmos, 3 Edward Newgate, and 2 Kingdu. These are kind of the bread and butter for how the deck work. You have the vanilla attackers that you can play on an early curve with the Kingdu and the Atmos that apply a ton of pressure to your opponent, and then you have a 6K leader every turn. And then come your curve where you can play Edward Newgate, you can actually get it down. And then you have Jozu as well as Vista. You have 4 Ace. Ace is a great card, minus 3K to 2 characters. It makes things to where Nami can swing without any Dawn investment, makes things work wonders, and it also gains Rush if your leader is a Whitebeard Pirate. Then we have 4 Marco. Marco is fantastic in this deck. It is a blocker, but when you block with it, if it gets KO'd, you can just bring it back. If your opponent does a final swing, you can just block, let it go, and then basically pitch 1 card instead of having to try and out combo to bring the Marco back. We do have 2 Monkey D. Luffy, 3 Brook. We have 3 of the 5-drop Monkey D. Luffy. This just gets through blocker. Just a great way to apply more pressure on the 5 and 7 curves if you want to. You can play the Luffy swing 6, and then the following turn play Ace swing 7, and then your leader also swings 6, forces them to dump a lot of cards. We do have 4 Radical Beam, just to make sure that you can combo out of things once you have no life left, and if your Marcos are gone. And then we do have Guard Point, just a 1 of. It's basically a Radical Beam, but for 3,000 instead of 2. And then we have 3 Moby Dick. Now, Moby Dick isn't a card that you have to play, but it's what makes the deck do so well, as it gives a 2K buff to all of your Whitebeard Pirate or Edward Newgate Pirates. So you can actually have a big amount of lethal. So overall, that is the deck we're going to run. If you guys do enjoy today's video, smash that like button, subscribe, turn on post notifications. Thank you so much for all the support, as we are almost at 130 subs, and just a week ago we were at 100, so I appreciate all the love. Again, if you enjoyed it, smash that like button, subscribe, turn on post notifications, enjoy the gameplay, and I'll catch you guys on tomorrow's Tech Tuesday. Alright guys, so here we are playing against Zoro. Zoro relatively should be a good matchup, and looking at this hand, I feel pretty okay with keeping this. So we're going to keep this because we have the Edward Newgate, which makes things a lot harder. Now he is going to be able to drop his Newgate first, but it's going to be a lot easier for us to actually go through with our turns. So when Zoro has to pretty much always have a Dawn on it in order for it to swing, but the low cost characters, it's hard for them to reach that 6K mark. Because things like Sunny need 2 Dawn now instead of 1, and vice versa. With like Nami needs 3 Dawn now instead of the rest. So let's see. I think here, honestly, we just swing 9. Or we could have swung 10 too, but either way, we just want him to take this. We're just getting some counter power in our hand, so like Nico Robin needs so there's a 6K. We'll take the 6K. I'm not too worried about the 6Ks. So you could play Zoro swing 6, Nico Robin swing 6, but okay, so we just chooses to go double Nico Robin. Interesting. All right, so I think here we just go 6K. We can go 7 into 6 with the Monkey D. Luffy, which sounds good. So yeah, we'll do a 6K swing. So he radical beams for the 2k, that's fine. And then we'll Luffy, attach 1, do 7k. And he's going to be forced to take this. And if he plays Gordon and pops the Luffy, that's fine. Because the more he has to put sideways, the more that I can work with Ace next turn anyways. So I'm going to be able to deplete him of a lot of resources. Then we drew the Moby too, which is great. So I'm not too worried about these coming turns. And next turn we know he's just going to wipe Beard. Okay, so there's a jet pistol. That's interesting. So we can do 3 6k swings, but considering that, you know, they're only 6k, I'm not worried at all. I do need to get rid of these Robins as fast as possible. So, okay, so there's a Curly, so he must not want to swing this turn. And if he doesn't want to, then that's fine. We can just keep putting the pressure on with the Ace. Interesting. So we know that he has probably a guard point in hand. So we could go 7, 7, and then still be okay. So 7, that'll force 2 cards. Because even if he uses the Rad Beam, or if he's weird and plays guard point or anything like that. And then we'll go Ace, we'll just minus 3k and we'll swing 7. And then being at 10, I wish we had the Moby out, but we can play the Moby out after the following turn, so I'm not too stressed. And now next turn, if he decides to play his own Newgate, most he can swing for is 7, and we can counter that easy. So, and we'll be at 10, which means that we'll have the guard point active too. And we drew Marco, so Marco's fantastic. So we forced a lot of cards out of his hand, so I'm not too stressed. If he chooses to jet pistol here too, that's fine. That's completely fine with me. Okay, so there's the Otama. So it's at 3k. He can play Vista. That'll cost 3. Then he has 4 Dawn left to work with, which he could go 1 Dawn, 2 Dawn, and go from there. But okay, so he's going to swing 6 pop. That's fine. The 6k, we'll just block it with the 1k. He's going to have a really hard time trying to swing up to 8k with the Edward Newgate next turn, so. And having 1 open plus a lot of 2ks in hand and a life left, it puts him in a very big lethal for the following turn, so. Yeah, we're in a really good spot considering that he didn't play the Whitebeard this turn. So I can swing 6 again. We'll just counter the 6 with a 1k. I'm not too worried about that. So he puts all the Dawn here to swing 10. The 10, let's see. If he puts, I feel like we have enough combo in hand to be able to survive the next turn, so we'll take this. Plus we do a Radical Beam. Radical Beam will help a lot more than Guard Point too, which is good. So we can go here, and honestly, we can just do 8k at leader. He has nothing open, so he's going to be forced to dump 2 cards or take it. But choose to take it, and here we can just pass. There's nothing I'm really too worried about, not to mention we have Radical Beam plus 1,001 2Ks in hand. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 2Ks plus the Radical Beam plus 2 1K counters. So we should be okay for the next turn. And next turn we can actually start depleting his board of a lot of resources, so we could even back-to-back Edward Newgate if we wanted to. It all depends on what he wants to do. If he swings for 15k to try and get... Okay, so there's a 15k swing. With this, we're just going to say no blocker. We're going to get rid of the Rad Beam, put us at 12. 14, 16. And we drew another 2K, plus we have the Marco too, which is great. Let's see, so Marco. How do I want to go about this? Because we can swing, pop, then have the Marco. That sounds pretty good. So yeah, we'll do a 12K swing and we'll just pop. And he's forced to take. I think we just Marco. Because if he pops the Marco, we can always bring it back to. Let's see. If we drop the Marco, and that leaves us with 4 Dawn, which means that we have 2, 4, 6, 8. We have 11K to work with. So if he does an all-in again, we just go with Marco, and that means that he has to waste more Dawn for the following turn. So yeah, we'll leave 1 open. We'll swing 9, see what he wants to do, because he has to drop at least 3 cards right here. So there's the 7, there's the 9, there's the 10, so that's fine. Yeah, and considering how these turns will go, I'm feeling pretty okay. So there's Luffy. So he can put all of his Dawn on here and swing for 11, that's fine, because we have 6, 9, yeah. So there's no way that we lose this now. Then he does a 6K swing. And we can just, we'll 2K out of it just because I don't want to have the Nico Robin swinging. So let's go no blocker. We'll just combo. And then here we'll play the Moby Dick. And we'll do, let's see, that's 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Let's do an 11K swing real quick. It's going to force every card out of his hand if he wants to block it. And then we have a 12K swing. So that's the video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did enjoy today's video, smash that like button, subscribe, turn on post notifications. I'll catch you guys in tomorrow's Tech Tuesday.